Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Redstone 101. Today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different from the usual Redstone 101 style of video. We're going to be doing a top 5 video because I have run out of content. Just kidding. But there's going to be some super interesting redstone things that we're going to talk about, including secret doors, good ways to get redstone signals around, and ways to trap people. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, we're going to start off with a bit of an odd one here. In front of me, I have 7 leaves stacked up tall, and if we click F3 and you look over to the right side of the screen, you can see there's this little distance box that says 7. If I were to put a log near this leaf, boom, the distance would now be 1. So the leaves record their distance away from the nearest log so they can decay when you cut down a tree, right? This is important because it allows us to detect if a log is placed nearby some leaves, which is a cool way to send redstone signals around and is pretty useful in the contraption I have over here. But let me show you how it works. So right now, distance of 7 away from the nearest log. But if we chuck a log down here, you can see that the observer does detect it, and now the distance is 6 because it's only 6 leaf blocks away. The max distance is 7, so you can't have like these massive lines of vertical leaves, but still pretty useful. And let me show you how useful. So let's get rid of the annoying F3 menu. Over here we have a very lovely ambiance little cave style entrance. So if I were to chuck a leaf anywhere in this general area here, I could have a secret opening. Look at that. Boom. Get rid of the leaf and it's gone. This is I really like this style of entry, so let's go through here and we can examine how it works. No shocker, it's just an observer that detects the state of change of the leaf, but you can use any type of leaf and any type of wood. So yeah, that's your first little tip and trick. You're probably thinking to yourself, what in the world is the possible use case of this? Like, am I really just going to chuck down a log every time I need to get through a door? And the answer, the use case is pretty limited, probably for tree farms. But as I said before, it's a good way to get signals to go vertically. Now you got the old reliable here. This is an easy way to send a signal vertically, as you can see. That block does trigger on top. But you can't have blocks next to it because, well, you can't have blocks that can stick to slime next to it because they'll take up the push limit on the pistons. So I have another tip and trick next to show you. Alright, so right here we have another fantastic way of getting redstone signals to travel vertically. It's much less resource intensive, and you really can go up to the world limit here. There's nothing stopping you. So let me show you how it works. Once again, we're opening the really fun F3 menu that's super legible and readable. And you're going to look over at the targeted block window once again on the right side of the screen. And you can see that distance thing again, right? This is measuring the distance away from the nearest grounded scaffolding. You know, when you're scaffolding out, you can only go... Okay. You can only go so far before it starts dropping to the ground to build the next platform. So that's what that distance measure is keeping track of. So the setup we have right here, we have a trap door, and when this trap door gets triggered, suddenly this distance will move to 1 because there's no scaffolding beneath it. This is technically a scaffolding source block right now, but it'll look to the nearest sourced scaffolding. It'll see, oh, it's right here. So this distance will change to 1, and these distances will update accordingly all the way up. So let me show you how it works. Let's click the button. Alright, and then we have the second update as they revert to the position once the trapdoor goes back to normal. So pretty useful. Yeah, great way to send redstone signals. That's about all I can say about that. It's very resource effective, which is quite fantastic. The next tip and trick here is a little bit more unusual. If you watch Hermitcraft, you might have seen it used in Decked Out to secretly detect when players are close by. So the idea here is we got a puffer fish in a minecart, but more importantly, we have a pressure plate. And when the players are nearby, the puffer fish gets real big and the pressure plate's triggered, which sends out a signal which allows you to like set off a trap or do other things. So let's first of all enable hitboxes, and then we're going to hop into survival. And I'm going to show you pufferfish gets real large, and then boom, redstone signal's powered. And as you can see, the hitbox extends over the pressure plate, which triggers it. That's about all for this trick. However, it's a little bit hard to set up, so I'm going to walk you through how to set it up because I struggled, that is for sure. So if you're wondering how to get this set up in survival, you can see a little test down here. You're going to need to properly align the minecart over here. So a good way to do that, I discovered, is you get yourself a bucket of pufferfish. No, you also need a minecart. That's super helpful. But you place the minecart down, and then you place the bucket of pufferfish on this block here. So the bucket of pufferfish gets moved into the minecart, and the minecart gets pushed over there. And then you can just replace the block, and it's all set up. That's it. Pretty simple. You need to keep the water there. You need to keep the water. The water needs to be kept. So you put another water down there so the pufferfish doesn't suffocate. But besides that, pretty easy to set up, and this does need to be a slab. Okay, on to the next tip and trick. Alright, another pretty common mechanic that I'm sure you're aware of, but it's quite useful for these redstone tricks, is actually using the redstone ore block. So once again, we're opening the F3 menu and looking over to the right hand side at the targeted block section. And as you can see here, there's this lit, and right now it says false. If I were to hop on it and activate it, you can see that the redstone dust lights up. Okay, it does not work with deep slate redstone ore, which probably a bug. Anyway, if I walk on top of it, it changes from lit being false to lit being true, which of course an observer can detect. Let me just try to activate these. Oh, you have to hop. I'm a fool. Anyway, so we can conceal this with the help of carpet, or this moss carpet right here. The particles are a bit of a giveaway, but when it's not activated, it's much calmer. So if I put a few more of these leaves here, or grass blocks here, it would be totally fine. So I'm sure you can guess where this is going here. We have this very non-suspicious dripstone ceiling. So if we take a little hop and skip over here, then we get murked by this large dripstone. Let me show you really quickly how I set this up. Why is there always a wandering trader when I'm trying to record something? Shut up. Anyway, so we have observers that detect this change of state of the redstone ore. And then we have to pass it through a repeater on 3 ticks of delay because this trapdoor actually needs to trigger for longer than a single pulse. So anyway, using this really cool vertical system I just showed you here, we power an observer, and then we just move the block the dripstone's on top of, which makes it fall over. Just a little trap, kind of cool. So yeah, that was another trick there. Alright, the last one's short and sweet here. I'm pretty sure you can put together what's about to happen. But once again, we open the lovely F3 menu and we glance over to the right. You can see there's this occupied tab, and it says false right now. So let me set it to night, so we can actually sleep in the bed. And below we have a secret TNT. So if you wanted to trap somebody, you could just pop an observer under their bed. And to be honest, you could conceal this pretty well if you just did that. So really, it's not super suspicious. Anyway, they hop in the bed, and then TNT sound, explosion. And you don't even get to sleep. How devastating. So yeah, that's the last one. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Redstone 101. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe, and you can join my $400 a month Patreon subscription if you want to. But anyway, have a good one, and thanks for watching.